Hello, 7th graders. So today we're going to discuss some review for MCA. And we will have about 10 mini lessons, maybe 12, and that will cover pretty much all the basic standards for MCA preparation. And the reason for that is because we will continue experiencing mini video lesson session in the classroom. Also, you will have additional worksheet to complete, and all the questions and discussions could be done through Schoology or in class one-on-one, face-to-face with me and your classmates. So, first thing we're going to review today will be how to evaluate expressions. And when we talk about expressions, we also talk about integer operations. So, the first example will be, we will have given a number line, and that will be my number line. And we will have also a few tasks to complete. Make a number line from -10 to 10, so that will be the first thing, and then we will check those. We will label different numbers on the number line with letter A, B, C, and D. So first thing, I'm going to start and put 0. 0 is in the middle when we have a number line. And all from 0 to the right will be all positive numbers. From 0 to the left will be all negative numbers. So because it's from -10 to 10, I'm going to put some marks to measure this. So it will be +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 will be the last mark here. Then I will put -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. -10 will be the other left. So, first task says label -7 with A. So -7 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -7 right here, and that will be labeled with letter A. Next thing says label the opposite of -3. Well, what is the opposite of -3? Yeah, it's +3. So, +3 will be here. 1, 2, 3, +3, and that will be B, letter B. Next thing, we will label the opposite of -2. So, two opposites. First opposite of -2 is +2. Then the second opposite of +2 will be -2. So, C will be -2 right here. That will be letter C labeled. And the last one is label the absolute value of 7. I want you to think back about when we talk about absolute value, and hopefully you remember the definition that absolute value is always equal to a positive number. So if I have given absolute value of 7, this will be the same as absolute value of -7. Both of those will always be equal to +7. So +7 will be here, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that will be marked with letter D. With this, we just completed the first example from the practice review. Next thing, I want you to focus on addition and subtraction of integers, and then we will do a few examples, multiplication and division of integers. So let's take a look of a couple examples here. -4 plus 6. When we're adding one negative and one positive, we always take away. So we're looking to take away, to find the difference between those. The difference between 4 and 6 is 2. And we keep the sign of the larger number. Which one is larger here? 6 is larger. 6 has a positive sign, so +2 will be my answer for this problem. Then -3 minus 2. When we have two negative numbers, we're adding those. So 3 plus 2 is 5. And also, when we're adding two negatives, we keep the negative sign as well. So -5 will be the answer for this. Next examples. -6 plus 4. So one negative, one positive. Again, take away. The difference between 6 and 4 is 2. Which one of those two has the negative sign because it's the larger? Number 6. So because 6 is the larger number of 4 and has a negative sign, my answer will also be negative. Negative 3 minus 7, both of those have the same exact sign. So think about when you have negative 3 and 7 is the same as 3 plus 7, okay? We're adding the numbers, we get 10, and we keep the negative sign. When we're adding two negatives, we add the numbers and we keep the negative sign. Next example, negative 4 minus 4, same thing. We are adding those two, which is 8, and do we keep the negative sign? Yes, we do, because they both are negatives. Negative 6 plus 6. So when we're having two numbers exactly the same with opposite sign, it's the same thing as when we cancel those. And when we cancel, actually we get 0 here, because negative 6 plus 6 is 0. We can regroup this as a 6 minus 6, which will be exactly the same thing. We still get 0. Alright, another example could be a word problem. So how do we model expression using symbols? A scuba diver dives to a depth of 60 feet. So here's the ocean, let's say, and it dives up to 60 feet below. Then it rises 25 feet, then sinks 10 feet, and then rises another 25. So what happened when it sinks and rises? When something rises, it goes plus, right? We're going up. But if it sinks, it's going down. And when it dives, also it's down. So above those words, dives, I will put minus because it goes down. Then it rises because it goes up, plus, sinks again, it means go down, negative, and rises again, it will be plus. So once you have those positive and negative symbols in front of the numbers, I want you to start writing your expression. And we will start with negative 16 plus 25 minus 10 plus 25. Alright, so when you have this long expression, remember we always start from left to right and we combine those two. Negative 60 plus 25. So we will take away from those because one negative, one positive. So 60 minus 25 is 35, and we will also keep the negative sign because 60 is the larger number between those two and has a negative sign. Then we will copy the rest. Minus 10 plus 25. So negative 35 minus 10, when we have two numbers with the same sign, we add those, so we get 45, and we also keep the negative sign. And then I will copy plus 25. So final answer here will be we have one negative and one positive. We take away, so the answer is 20, and we keep the negative sign. So the final answer will be negative 20 feet for this particular example. Awesome. So this is when we are adding and subtracting integers. I'm going to show you a few examples with multiplication and division, and please, if you feel like I'm going too fast, you need to pause the video. You know what to do. The power button is in your hands. You can always start from the beginning or just pause, write down the examples, and keep moving. The last few examples are division and multiplication. So the rules are, if we are multiplying, for example, look at this thing on the top over here, those smiley faces. If we are multiplying positive numbers, the answer will be positive. If we multiply negative numbers, the answer is again positive. So right here, we will get positive, and right here, we will also get positive. The only thing you have to remember is when you multiply or divide one positive and one negative, so only with multiplication and division they both have a different sign, then the answer will be negative. Alright, so negative 24 divided by 6. One is negative, one is positive. Then we will have for sure negative answer. 24 divided by 6 will be 4. So negative 4 is the answer here. We multiply two negatives. When we multiply two numbers with the same sign, they change to positive, and the answer will be plus 12. When we multiply one positive and one negative, again, negative sign, 6 times 7 will be 42. And the last thing, when you divide two numbers with negative sign, just like multiplication, they change to plus. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And that will be the last example for today. So the worksheet you have to practice with is the same thing. You gotta work with those integers. Make sure you write down some of those important rules like this in your formula sheet, because later when you start reviewing, you want to have those rules. If you feel pretty comfortable solving the examples, you don't need to, but I will suggest, because it's always great to review, to have it written down on a piece of paper. Thank you for watching the video. We'll have more discussions in class, and let me know if you have questions. Have a great day.